What drew you to the guitar, and when did you realize you had a special gift?
Well, number one, I didn't like having to play the piano because I couldn't pick it up and move it. And I had 5 brothers and 3 sisters, and they could all hear me practice. And I thought that was horrifying. If I was going to practice something, I wanted to go hide away somewhere. So like the guitar is really cool because you can take it and you can go into a room where nobody else is and you can work on something till you get good. And you don't have to suffer the humiliation of sounding terrible in front of the whole family. But I was terrible at the piano, mostly I think because I just visually, I don't know if I have a little touch of dyslexia or something, but reading notes that are stacked up on top of each other on the staff was always really difficult for me. So reading and piano playing go hand in hand, and there's a reason it should be easier than reading for guitar because it's a 2-dimensional surface, whereas guitar is 3-dimensional. We can get into all of that, but I failed at the piano, and I tried playing the trumpet for a while because I thought I wouldn't have to read chords, that I could read just one note at a time, and then I would be better at it, and I loved Herb Alpert albums. And I had an older brother that played trumpet, and I kind of idolized his musical genius as a jazz player. I wasn't very good at that either. And, I thought maybe it'd be cool if I played the drums. Piano didn't work out. Trumpet didn't work out. I didn't enjoy playing a snare drum. When I told my parents I wanted to be a drummer, they got me a snare drum, and I had to learn how to be drum and bugle corps. And that was not the kind of drumming I wanted to do. So my sister had a guitar in her room from Montgomery Ward's, and it was hearing music that was on the radio that was guitar driven. I mean, I got my first 9-volt AM radio that I kept under my pillow in 1968, man. I was, 6 years old and addicted to KDWB AM pop radio, and it was all guitar music happening. Guitar, maybe a little bit of piano kind of stuff, but really it was guitar-driven music. So, all older sisters say, don't anyone go in my room when they leave the house. And of course, what do you do the minute they leave? You go in their room, So I'd sit in there, and she had a James Taylor book, and I was trying to learn to play James Taylor. And just, my parents were sick of wasting money on music lessons. And guitar was something that I could get a book from the library and kind of learn. And in fact, that's what they said. We're not paying for guitar lessons until you really show us that you're not going to quit. Because I had quit the piano, I quit the trumpet, I quit the drum. But I just loved it. I hung with it, and it seemed to fit better than, and I could go practice in private. And I don't know, Willie, that's a weird thing about me. I don't like to practice. I don't really like to sound check when there's a lot of people in the room. I don't know how you are about that, but there's a reason artists like the room to be empty when it's time to sound check, And it comes from you want it to be right when people hear it. So guitar gave me that chance to go during the summer, go walk down the block, go sit by the Minnehaha Creek, It was my favorite place to practice would be down by the creek. I don't know if you remember the Sean Phillips album where you don't see his face. You just see a guy with a guitar and his hair goes all the way down to his ass and he's sitting on the ground. I was like that. They wouldn't let me grow my hair out, but I could at least go down by the creek and practice, on a guitar. So
the hair growing would happen at a later decade.
Yes, exactly.